Hello, I'm Box. So for today's video, we are going to talk about the conversion or interest period time between successive conversion of interest. Okay, so let's have the meaning of conversion or interest period. So here, the conversion period, also called the interest period, is the time between each calculation or addition of interest on money. Again, conversion period is also known as interest period. In other words, it is how often interest is added to the principal. So how many times the interest will be added to the principal for each year. Okay, so let's take an example. So as you can see here, Jasmine invests her money in a bank. The bank tells her that her investment is compounded quarterly. So what about that? Since we are talking about conversion period, which is the time between each calculation or addition of interest on money, what do you think is the conversion period of Jasmine investment? Okay, so in this case, the conversion the conversion period is 3 months. Why 3 months? Because you are going to pay every 3 months. So in this case, you're going to, if we have January to December, so probably you're going to pay on March, June, September, and December. So meaning you are going to pay 4 times because you are going to pay interest, or the interest will be added to the principal for every 3 months. So in a year, the interest will be added 4 times. Do you understand? Okay, now let's continue again. When we say conversion or interest period, it is the time between each calculation or addition of interest on money. In this example, the conversion period of the Jasmine investment will be 3 months. Every 3 months. Okay, good. Because it says here that the bank tells that her investment is compounded quarterly, and that is every 3 months. That is conversion period. Now let's move on. What about frequency of conversion? So the meaning of frequency of conversion is the number of times interest is converted or applied in 1 year. So in conversion period, the time between each calculation. So for Jasmine, the interest will be added every 3 months. Now we have here frequency of conversion. So in this case, how many times the interest will be converted in 1 year? So we have here, since the given as quarterly, so what about that? So the frequency conversion of Jasmine investment is 4 times. Is 4 times a year. 4 times a year. Again, we have here conversion period, the time between each calculation. So in this example, the interest will be added every 3 months. So if we completed in a year, if we do that in a year, Jasmine will pay 4 times a year. And that is your frequency of conversion. So again, conversion or interest period, the time. And for frequency of conversion, the number of times the interest is converted or applied in a year. Okay. So let's try this example. Let's see if you fully understand the topic that we have, the conversion period and the frequency of conversion. So here we have Tiffany deposits money in a savings account that is compounded monthly. So the word here is monthly. So what is the conversion period and frequency of conversion? So in here, as you can see, the interest is added every month. Every month. So for with that in mind, what is the conversion period? The conversion period is equal to 1 month because that is the time that the interest will be added. Let's go back. So in here, the conversion period is 3 months because in every 3 months, the the interest will be added to calculation. Now, in this example, it is every month, so therefore the conversion period is 1 month, every month, monthly. Okay, now let's move on. What about frequency of conversion? So, okay, in this case, how many times do Tiffany needs to, how many times in a year will Tiffany have an interest from her savings account? Since we have here monthly, how many months do we have in a year? That is 12 times per year. Per year. Here, 1 month and